lecture we will continue our chapter number 5, separation of substances. So in this lecture we will continue the topic method of separation. So in this method of separation, so many methods are there: threshing, winnowing, sieving, filtration, sedimentation, decantation, evaporation. So in this activity we will discuss about the process which is filtration process. By filtration process also we can separate the components. So what is the filtration process and how can we do that? Let's learn about it. Collect some muddy water from a pond or a river. If you don't have a water, you are not able to collect the water from the pond or river, so it's not worried. You can take a glass of clean water and add the soil into it. So if it is not available, mix some soil to water in a glass. You can do this at your home also. Take a one glass, and in one glass take a clean water, and after that add the some soil in the glass. Let it stand for a half an hour. So you have to stir it if you want, and after that put it in a separate place and observe after a half an hour or 10 to 20 minutes. You observe that water carefully and note your observation. You have to note down whatever you can see in what happened in that glass. Does some soil settles at the bottom of water? Yes. What is the answer? Yes. Why? Because Because the density of the soil is higher than the density of water. If the object having a density higher than medium, then the object will settle down. That's why soil is settled down in a glass or beaker, because its density is higher than water. So, what will you call this process? So, this process is sedimentation process. Now, slightly tilt the glass without disturbing the water. Let the water from the top flow into the another glass. What will you call this process? Yes, this process we call the decantation process. Is the water in the second glass still muddy or brown in color? After the sedimentation decantation process, still the water is muddy and impure. So if we want to drink it, so it is not safe for us. So we have to do another process, another method, which is filtration method or filtration process. So what is the filtration process? Is the water in the second glass still muddy or brown in color? So now we have to filter it. So did the tea strainer work? If we having a strainer by which we strain the tea, we will strain the tea. We can remove the tea leaves from the liquid by the strainer. So that strainer is work here? No. Why? Because the holes in the strainer having a large size. So the particles which are very small, which are mixed in water, that will not remove by this strainer. So let us try filtering the water through the piece of cloth. Here we will use the piece of cloth. In a piece of cloth having a small holes or a pores it means holes here, remain in between the woven threads. It means here the cotton cloth having a by weaving process cotton clothes are made, and by these two threads having a small holes or small pores, and by these pores impurities will remain on a piece of cloth. So by using the piece of cloth, we can separate the small size particle from the water. So this process in a cloth can be used as a filter. So here the cotton cloth will used as a filter here. Is the water is still muddy? Impurities can be separated by the filter that has even small pores. A filter paper is one such a filter that has very fine pores in it. If we don't having a piece of cloth, then we can use a filter paper to do this process. Figure shows the step involved in using a filter paper. So here you can see in this picture how can we fold the filter paper to do this filtration process. So this is the filter paper which having a round shape. You have to fold it in a half and then in a 1/4 we have to then fourth part and make a cone like structure, and then you have to put on a filter, and after that you have to pour a mixture which having a dust particle in a water. Then you can get a clean water in a beaker or a vessel. So here, so is the water in the second glass still muddy or brown in color? Now filter it. Did the strainer work? No. So let us try the filtering the water through the piece of cloth. In a piece of cloth, small holes or pores remain in between the woven threads. These pores in a cloth can be used as a filter. Here the pores of the cloth is removing the impurities. So here the piece of cloth is used as a filter. If the water is still muddy, impurities can be separated by the filter that has even small pores. A filter paper is one such a filter that has very fine pores in it. Figure shows that the steps involved in using a filter paper. So that we already see that solid particles in the mixture do not pass through it. It means filter paper and remain on the filter. Fruit and vegetable juices are usually filtered before drinking to separate the seeds and solid particles of pulp. Whenever we make the juice of fruits or vegetables, we make the juice of that, and after that we use the strainer to separate the seeds or any other solid particles from the pulp, and we get the clean liquid of that fruit or vegetable juice. The method of filtration is also used in the process of preparing cottage cheese. Here the meaning of cottage cheese, it means paneer in our homes. You might have seen that for making a paneer we add the few drops of lemon juice are added to milk as it boils. So to make a paneer we have to boil the milk, and after boiling the milk we have to add the drops of lemon juice. Because of the lemon juice it will become a paneer. This gives a mixture of particles of solid paneer and a liquid. So we get a paneer that is upper side of the mixture and the other liquid also. So the paneer is then separated by the filtering the mixture through the fine cloth or a strainer. To remove the paneer from the liquid, we have to use a filter paper or a cotton cloth. By using a cotton cloth or a strainer, which having a strainer, it means which strainer here? Which having a small size pores. So here we can use a piece of cloth or a strainer to remove the paneer from the mixture of liquid. So by this process, as you can see in this picture, figure 5.9 and figure 5.10, we can do the filtration process. Here in this 5.9, the process